What's up, everybody? Brett here, back with my YouTube channel, Good Talk Gaming, playing some more Battle Brothers on the Warriors of the North DLC. It's day 96 and it's midday. And we are sitting outside of Hexen right now because we are going to try and protect Arnie, the very important Arnie, the Guildmaster's firstborn son, from our first ever Hexen fight. They're going to pay us quite a bit for this. I'm a little worried that we might be biting off more than we can chew right now. And you know what? Before I even forget, let's switch it up. Let's get that out. The battle standard should help us with its resolve bonus to keep us from being, what do they call it? Having our hearts swapped over by the Hexen, having them lure us. Yeah, we just need to huddle around and figure out how we're going to advance. We have to see what kind of numbers we're facing before we do anything. I think we're well suited to do it. On average, our resolve is pretty high. Most of our brothers are in the upper 50s. Yeah, a lot of low 50s as well, but we have good numbers for where we are currently in the campaign. It's dangerous though. There's something to be said for splitting our brothers up, and something to be said for keeping as tight as possible to our standard bearer. Now, Wonton Fu has such high resolve that I think for this fight only, I am going to give him... How did I do that? Let me take this off. We're doing this. For this fight only, because he has 116, and 10% of that is a heck of a lot more resolve than 10% of 60. So we're looking to get maybe 5 more resolve from him using the banner. The dangerous part about these fights is never the beasts and things that accompany the Hexen. It's almost always being turned and having one of your own brothers kill you. So we're in camp stance right now, trying to quickly heal up and get rid of some of these injuries. And guys, before we get into anything else, we can do this too as well. Before we get into anything else, I wanted to talk about in the comment sections, a few of you pointed out to me something that was pretty important, and it's, actually I need to have it equipped to show you. It's the attacks. What makes this weapon so strong isn't necessarily its damage. Its damage is augmented by bleed, which is great, and on a cleaver master that bleed is even more. So you have to take that into account. And while you do miss out on the AoE damage of a greatsword, which is significant, it's probably what makes it the best weapon in the game, you do get the ability to attack twice. So here's the big change. If you look where it says cost 4 AP to use, it takes 11 fatigue, which is quite a bit, but you can attack twice in one turn with cleave, potentially 3 times if you activate Berserk and you have the fatigue for it. So as opposed to the greatsword's overhead strike being 6 AP, you can only use it once, unless you get Berserk and then you can attack twice. But 3 is more than 2, and therefore, boom, this weapon is a heck of a lot better than I originally thought it was. So, without any further ado, guys, let us hang out. Camp. What are you doing, camp? There we go. Some supplies were used. You spot a woman approaching the party. She's wearing bright red, and a necklace sways over her and between her ample bosom. Boy, I read that incorrectly. It's quite the sight, but she is flawless, and such a thing does not exist in this world. You draw your sword. Yeah, when you see flawless, draw your sword, guys. The lady sees the steel and then looks at you with a wily grin. Plots of hair fall from her head, and what's left shrivels into gray wisps. Her skin shrinks into pale valleys, and her fingernails grow so long they curl. She points a finger at you and screams that nobody will prevent the conclusion of the pact she's made. You yell out at the company to make sure Eric is kept out of harm's way. To arms. And unhold in a few Hexen. Hopefully we didn't get ambushed because we were in camp stance. I don't know if that affects you during like quests like this. It doesn't seem to. Okay. There's 3 of them, I believe. And in order to keep this guy safe, we need to run him away from us. And unhold is pretty tough. But we're going to advance together. And try and get the picks. Damn. That would have been pretty awesome if we had gotten that kill. 64, dead. And I would really like to get lucky here. That's been said by a lot of people in many circumstances. Would have been nice maybe to pass that. Wow, we should have passed. It was pretty much a guarantee that the unhold would jump forward. Can we jump forward one more time? Yes. 46. Almost dead. Every one of these we kill before the battle starts is huge. It just so greatly lowers the risk. Nice, good hit. Of us getting flipped. Something like that. Like that. And we can use Indomitable, hopefully to ensure that we do not... Oh no, we're blocked. Oh no. That's awful. We had a chance to take a shot there and we missed it. I messed it up. Well, hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. Having one dead and one severely injured is great, but the problem now becomes if they start... Damn. If they start using the other ability that they have, which binds our health pools together. Get the kill. Now we should be able to do an aim shot for 82%. Wow, perfect. Another aim shot for 79. If we land this, this fight is nothing. Perfect. Man, I was worried about this fight. We've got 2 apples and a feather. But something to consider now is that we have a glutton in our party. And in my experience, gluttons almost always eat the apples. 2 stacks of overwhelm. Oh, he's running? Interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen an unhold run like that. If we could get our lone wolf brothers on him. You know what we could have done? We could have... This is something I have to get used to when we're playing with adrenaline because it's such a new ability for me. We could have stopped one area short, used adrenaline, and then gone first next turn to jump onto the unhold. But I don't think that's going to happen now. He may have as much room as he needs. We'd like to kill him simply because crafting ingredients. We're still hoping to find some crafting ingredients. And then one day we'll find the legendary taxidermist. That's a joke. And then we'll be able to craft with the ridiculous amount of really high quality crafting ingredients that we have. We're going to run him down if we can. He'll probably get away. Yeah, that sucks. We're not going to send dogs after him. That's just asking to lose a dog. It's not worth it to do that. Can we catch him? Oh, it looked like we could still use it. Okay. Well, adrenaline. Make sure we have enough supporting elements. That way we can kill what we catch. Because, yeah, he's running, but he's not hurt. He'll be able to fight us off quite well when we finally do get to him. But having Svarog and Isaac on top of that guy should be pretty easy. Use Indomitable. That'll protect us from his attacks. He won't be able to throw us or knock us back. So that means he won't be able to leave our zone of control. Going well, guys. And for like a smooth 2,400 crowns for this, which is great after we paid for that ridiculous wagon. And I realized after kind of thinking about yesterday's episode that I didn't even go over just how much space we added to the wagon. I'm sure you guys saw if you were looking for it. But it's 26. We added 26. Wow, we should have stepped up. 26 spaces to our inventory. We're now at, I think, 152. And that's a lot. You know what? This might have been a bad idea. Yeah, let's get him out. I forgot just how injured he was. And we don't have Indomitable up on Sir Lancel. So this unhold could easily toss Sir Lancel you know, jump forward, something crazy like that. They move around a lot when they get the chance. And anyone who has that kind of injury doesn't need to be standing that close to an unhold. If I sound a little out of breath, guys, I kind of am. Me and my buddy just went for a nice walk. And, picked up some groceries, do some cooking. And we got him. But yeah, we're going to spend the day, if you're curious, we're going to spend the day in Baltimore. Going to the harbor and doing stuff. Looking forward to it. I haven't really explored Baltimore yet. You return Eric to Arnie, the guild master. The townsman and the firstborn embrace like the telling of two separate dreams of identical circumstance, slowly coming together despite the appeals of reality. What does that even mean? That was probably the most, like, unnecessarily lofty sentence I've ever read in this game. Fine, let me read it one more time. The townsman and firstborn embrace like the telling of two separate dreams of identical circumstance, slowly coming together despite the appeals of reality. Someone was high when they wrote that. Finally, they hug and clinch one another and pause to stare at one another to be sure it's all real. You tell Arnie the guildmaster that every witch is dead, but that he should keep the tale to himself. He nods. Spirits feed on hubris, I know that much, and I shall take this story to the grave. I thank you for what you've done today, Sellsword. I thank you to such lengths you could not possibly know. I have but one way to express my appreciation. He brings you a satchel of gold. The sight of the bag bulging with coin brings a warm smile to your face. Someone brings me this much gold in real life, I will smile. Guaranteed. They no longer have abducted children, which is cool, I guess. And now we can switch back to our old setup, where we only use the battle standard in times of need. Otherwise, we just don't let it take up space in our brother's hands. Let them use more dangerous weapons like warbows, more steady weapons like spears. Okay, we didn't get any levels off of that, but that was a lot of crowns. We're back up to 7k. This place still has ruins. And the prices here still suck. But the prices for the ammunition is not bad. And we're a little low, so I think I'll stock up. Selling here is not a good idea. The prices, according to our bear hat, are pretty terrible. There's also no more quests here. And I was wondering just now if there's any cities that we haven't visited yet that we're able to. And I don't think so. Donnerstad. We've never visited Eadsvik. Didn't someone give us a quest to go to Eadsvik? Ooh, it's hard for me to remember. It's been 24 hours, but I feel like there was a quest someone was giving us to just travel to Eadsvik. But at the very least, we could travel back to Raderstead. It's a decent-sized city. We have a decent amount of gold. We can always check in at the weaponsmith, just see what they have. Nothing we need, but maybe the prices will be good and we can sell some stuff. And the prices don't look terrible. That's a good profit on that, I would assume. Yeah, they're decent. We can get rid of the cheap stuff. Hold on to the not-so-cheap stuff, crafting ingredients included. Make sure we have enough food to go out on any type of journey. 8 days is fine. Tool prices here are mediocre, so I'll only buy, they only have one available, but if they had more, I definitely would have only bought one. Food, buy some fish. Should put us up to 9 days, much more comfortable. And let's just check out the contract. To Dornan. If I wanted to go back down to that part of the map, this would be a great thing to do. But I want to go east and stay north and try and fight more Northmen in harder fights. Tell him I need some time to think about it. A tome of arcane knowledge. Follow the tracks. Yeah, these are generally very easy. Just a nice, easy way for us to boost our reputation, get some free experience, get some free gold, get some drinks for everyone. And they want us to follow the track southwest. So I wouldn't be surprised here. We're just going to see some raiders. Almost certainly. And depending on their composition, we may consider fighting them at night. They have a leader at least, but there's only 7 of them. And fighting them at night definitely doesn't benefit us. But I think we're probably enough stronger than this group that it doesn't really matter. So let's just go ahead and smack them down. They have 1 marksman, but he's going to be at just as big of a disadvantage as we are. He has some high ground and some random bushes protecting him. That's crazy. This is like the perfect sniper spot I've ever seen in this game. We'll take some aim shots. .64 is not bad. Let's try and go for a kill. If we can clear this center pocket, maybe we can run up the middle. Ooh. That looks like a military cleaver, a heater shield, maybe lamellar armor, and that helmet is probably decent. I'm going to go for the big one shot here, hope to do more damage, as opposed to perhaps doing a swing and doing good damage to both of them. And we're going to use adrenaline here, and we're going to go for a line shot next turn. Okay. Since it's night, it's not going to be the best. Also, I don't know if I showed you guys this. I had the idea just to put another bundle of throwing axes instead of some bandages. It could definitely come in handy if we find ourselves in a position where Skibo is isolated enough that he's able to use his throwing axes multiple times in a single battle. I'm going to go around here. I'm going to step off the high ground. Pretty genuinely unthreatened by these guys, and we should be able to... We're definitely going to kill him, I feel like. Really hoping to get that kill there. Spear wall should send the AI wanting to run in weird places. Good for them. They stopped just outside of our crossbow range. Let's go for the lineup. And we only hit 1. We did hit the one we wanted to hit in order to get that kind of chain of events going. It's just unfortunate because we have no real clear line of sight to get to this brigand marksman. Putting 2 stacks of overwhelm on a leader is pretty important. With a weapon as dangerous as that, we have 4 stacks of overwhelm on him. The odds that he can hit one of us is pretty minuscule. I don't like stepping in here, and I don't think we need to do anything else. We'll maintain our fatigue, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, he hasn't gone yet, so he's going to be able to take some shots at us with that Gramasax. But at some point, we want them to engage us. And I think it's okay to leave our back line behind. Nice. Just because the range here is just not going to be sufficient. He's not going to be able to one-shot anybody. Okay. See what he does. Yeah, shield wall. He felt super threatened. Yep, military cleaver missed. And he's getting super fatigued because we're using adrenaline. Can't hit him. See how far we can get. 47s? I'll take 2 47s. Maybe we get lucky. Get better surrounds here so we can get better odds of hitting. Nice. Can we not step? We can. Okay. He goes next, which is the only reason I want to hit him. And it would be nice to cause this guy to bleed so we could let him bleed out. We have 3 cleavers on him. And now he no longer has the benefit of a 2-person shield wall. Wow, we still have a crossbow shot? I actually don't want to hit him with that. Just because, yes, it will pierce his armor, but I think it could potentially push him into here, which is not what we want. We've got a nice, good surround going. No need to mess it up. Too much damage to armor. Skibo, do you have... No, Skibo does not have a dagger. Okay. You should have this. Oh well, at least we're applying overwhelm. That's all fine. Just want to cause that bleed. Damn it. Yeah, and there goes the armor. I think is all the way gone, even though it shows like it's still there. Could we just let him bleed out at this point? I think if we let him bleed out, we don't get the experience, however. We don't have a dagger. Go for the decapitate, and 9 lives saved him. And down he goes. So, as nice as it would be to get the armor, we don't get it. Yeah, we don't get it. We got a heater shield, though, and another military cleaver. This is definitely the military cleaver run. Which makes us amazing versus human opponents, but kind of bad against the undead. Not all undead, but heavily armored undead for sure. You sacrifice DPS for the bleed. I think this is just a straight up better weapon. And since we have it, we should just be using it. We still have a pole hammer on this guy? What the heck? Long axe. I don't know how I didn't see that before. That's a good weapon. That's a good upgrade. So we can go back to Ratterstead. Collect our money. And hopefully explore. 9 brigands? Nah, we'll leave them alone. It's free money, it's free experience. I see footprints there, really big ones. Let's give you a heater shield. That looks cool. Looks like someone's on it. To Dornerstad, not interested. Okay, so at the end of the day, they ended up not really having anything we needed. One last check at the tavern. Nope. So we're off. We can try and find what's causing these footprints. Looks like they're chasing something. But, yeah, look how many guys swarmed. That's a lot of militia. And the first Camp White Company is probably certainly capable of saving itself. The best way to prove that we are the strongest company around is to defeat another mercenary company in battle. We did this earlier on. Great explorers become men of legend. Going to the wild lands is a dangerous business. How does this one get triggered? I mean, the Greenskin Invasion is something we're currently doing. It's going to get finished no matter what. But if this is something we can just like quickly do right now as we go into the wild, I'm curious. Let's take this one. Discover hidden locations 8. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's not hard to do at all. Just did one. We just did one on complete accident. So, we're going to come up here and take this fight in the snow. Let's see what our condition of our brothers is like real quick. So I feel like we might still have some injuries. We have one injury and just a little bit of damage. Should we camp for a minute? I feel like yes. Mini Reavers should not be a difficult fight with the kind of armor that we're rocking on some of our strongest brothers. How are we feeling? Not much better. Well, we're not going to wait forever. Let's get in there. Mini Reavers. Some dangerous weapons here. If those injuries were on our frontline brothers, then I would have made some different considerations. But on our backline brothers, it shouldn't matter that much. The trees are going to give them some cover, which is awkward. Oh man, that harpoon. Let's wait a second. Yeah, let some more of them jump up. Would love to get these heavy throwing weapons that they have. Don't want anyone to get hit in the head with this weapon. Let's get my Lone Wolf active. There we go. Start making them doubt themselves, lower their stats. I don't think we need to Indomitable. I don't think we need to Adrenaline. Yeah, we're not going to shield wall there. We'll get a double shield wall on each side. Except, actually, we won't get it here because we threw. 46 versus 43. These giant skull maces are pretty scary weapons. And they're a lot faster than us, so getting our shield wall up right now is fine. Expected the throwing weapons to come in. Hoping this stupid thing doesn't break one of our unique shields, which it's done in the past. Surprised they're holding position like that. There we go. We don't have a ton of good shots, so we'll take every angle that we can. I love that you can hear the sound of like rattling bones when you hit their armor. Alright, here we go, down the line. Boom. And I'm going to use Indomitable. 35%, I'll take it. Cool. He's not gonna be able to make it forward in one turn for sure. Let's get those shield walls back up. Gotta love having archers, and having the opponents have to come to you is such a huge advantage. And all of these cleavers are just ridiculous versus the Northmen. They may be some of the best weapons, because their HP pools probably are roughly the same as any other human unit. And anytime we can hit that HP, and their armor sucks, we just have to hit them. The AI has gotten very good about ignoring Lone Wolf brothers and going around. Can we kill this guy? Identified him as a threat, and we'll take him out. Put a little extra damage on some of the other ones. to really help our other brothers have the highest potential possible to get these kills. Make sure we go first. Pull out our other military cleaver. Step up, Kopesh to the face. And I don't think we need to do adrenaline. I think we've got it active right now on Sir Lancel. Get the kill. Yeah, get the kill, get the berserk. No, it's not active on Lancel. Who is it active on? I would not be surprised to see them running this turn. Yeah, who's left? Just 2 of them? That was pretty brutal. Oh, can we go? Nope. Can't go any further. We used it on adrenaline and the potential that we missed some of these attacks. And we wanted to make sure they didn't hit us with any of those heavy weapons. What does he have? Pierced arm muscles. Yeah, that makes sense. Pass with Ozzy. We're always moving the wrong people first. Good hit. Good. Triple surround. Should be good odds for Lancel to hit. We landed 1. I'm not that disappointed with that. But he's definitely going to get to go first. Ooh, with a big round swing. I don't think I knew that that weapon could do that. I guess it's just a hammer at the end of the day. That makes sense. Down he goes. We did not level at all off of that. And what do we pick up for our troubles? Enough tools and enough ammunition to replace what we lost. The 2-handed skull hammer is probably the most expensive thing we grabbed. But all of the barbarian weapons are super valuable. And then some good food too. Silverware and crowns, of course, just being standard okay. But what we definitely want to do is repair these because they are quite valuable. Anything else? It's a 145 helmet. -1 vision. It's almost as good. It's like a really good crossbow helm. It's a little too fatiguing though. Alright, let's keep heading up. Looks like maybe some people escaped from the camp before we got there. I don't know. We lost their trail though. Or maybe they got smashed by these guys. There is nothing here. That is miserable. And due to all their different effects, they really don't want any of our stuff. We're going to sell the cheap stuff and hold on to the expensive stuff. What a miserable place. Why don't they have anything? Does this place have ruins all outside? Where do you want us to go? Deliver cargo by the day southwest. Okay. We'll probably take that just because this place has literally nothing. And it's kind of horrible. I would like to adventure out here, but the thing is the first 2 fights we have to take, not have to take, the first 2 fights that are available for us to take are too hard for us to take. So that means we're going to have to go even further out, which I'm kind of happy to do. But I mean, there's really no difference between launching our start from here to here, or from going from here to here, potentially discovering some other fights out here. There's also this Forester's hideout that we've seen. But if they're going to pay us to relocate, also this should help our relations. Okay, and we've seen this before. Wonton Fu gives another flask of blessed water, which is great versus the undead. And I think that puts us up to 4 now. 2 in our inventory, and then we have even more being held by brothers currently. Mostly holding them just to get them out of our inventory. 12 Goblin Raiders. I'm going to leave that alone. Take that little bit of extra time to heal. And come down here to the Crypt of the Hound. Probably going to be some undead. We haven't fought them yet today. And I realize we can just take these 2 little fights on the way. Well, potentially not little fights. But we can take these 2 fights on the way to our destination. Clear those out. Get paid. And then we'll have a really good starting ground. That's probably a Necromancer. Really good starting ground. Yep, Necromancer. For tomorrow's episode, where we really won't have anything to do except explore. And with 2 Geists on the field, we're going to want to have our banner out. Pass with all of our frontliners. There's no way they'll be able to make a move this turn. Can always spear wall in case he changes his possession target. We'll see how far he jumps. The 2 guys will hang back until the front lines are engaged. And now we actually have some decent targets for our archers. Start wearing them down. Anyone who's got some armor. And the kills are going to help our morale, which boosts our stats, so we'll take that. I'm going to leave this down for today, for this battle at least. We can see the exact numbers for damage done, and I guess that could be useful. If you really wanted to have a clear understanding of exactly how much damage you're doing, you don't necessarily need that. But I could see it being nice to have, especially if you're a numbers nerd. Some people play games and just like get real into the numbers. And this is exactly what I was talking about. The undead love to come straight forward, and when they're possessed, they have so many moves. Decapitation, that means there's no coming back for them. And we have cleavers. So this is interesting. I've been saying that the cleavers are kind of weak against the undead because the bleeding effect is not useful, and because, yeah, and a lot of times they're armored. But if we use Decapitate, it could be very effective against these types of undead. Interesting. So that's something I hadn't quite considered. None of this really matters. We just need to kill them as fast as possible. Move on to the next fight. It is a location though, and we've gotten some pretty ridiculously amazing loot from these types of smaller locations. Moving forward like that was not the best, but I just want to lock them down. Start trying to advance. I'm not scared of zombies with no weapons. I really don't like stepping on their corpses though, because I don't like being knocked off in an unexpected direction. Getting a little impatient, but I just want to get the heck out of here. The guys aren't really close enough to take advantage of their abilities yet. We're going to pull out our... Let's clear these out. We're going to pull out our banner this turn. Necromancers tend to flee once you're able to kill the majority of their servants. Zach is the wielder of the standard, so let's get his standard out. Keep moving forward with it. That way we're standing in the middle of our group. Everyone needs to be about 4 tiles away. The only exception probably being Kata, who's currently not 4 tiles away. But it's fine, honestly. Because he's also so far from the Geist that they can't really do anything to him. Step here, we can lock down this Geist. That's great. And there's a good chance that the Necromancer won't run because he has his 2 bodyguards still here. Yes, perfect. We risked it. The very worst that would have happened was we'd have taken, a shot from a relatively weak weapon. But passing by the pitchfork, it's a 2-hander. It has a really low chance to hit whenever it's someone adjacent to them. Okay, luckily they targeted Isaac, who's already gone for the turn. Yeah, using our archers, they're hanging back, they're getting the kills that clear. Perfect. The Necromancer is rethinking all of his, I was about to say life choices, but I feel like it's death choices. Perfect. Let's go for the rally. It didn't work. But if we rally with Wonton, I'm pretty dang positive it will work. That's not what I meant to do. That is okay. Alright, let's rally. Pretty good that he had to use one of his actions to jump back in place. Missing that kill there sucked. We could have reloaded. I almost feel like we were using just a bit too much ammunition. Bill Hook. Finally, we have someone on the Necromancer. Get wrecked, zombies. Can we do it? Man, I've been brave with that, but I really wanted to get onto that Necromancer so that he can't get slippery and get away. Run him down. Because if there's any good loot to be had here, it'll be thanks to the Necromancer. Getting run through with our battle standard right at the end there, a fitting end. And, I mean, this is a cool thing to get. Double mail patch. 400 crowns. I don't hate it. The rugged leather surcoat looks cool, but at the end of the day, it's not even a decent early game piece of armor. Not a waste of time, though. Decent experience, decent crowns, and an armor attachment that we can put on something. Maybe one of these male hauberks. This one here. There we go. That's now a 170. Fatigue rating isn't great, but it's better than nothing. Alright, let's head down to the Forester's hideout. And this will probably be the last battle of the day before we get to Elkshorn. We'll turn that in. We'll check out, make sure everything is good. And then we'll be in a great position to start some adventures to take some more dangerous fights. We remember visiting these places here. They're basically giant orc camps. So, I don't know if we'll be able to take those out, but we can definitely see. We can try. The biggest thing holding us back right now is currently the armor quality of our frontliners. And that's really it. I mean, even our helmets are fine. Our weapons are fine. Yeah, we want to get everyone up to 11 at least before we even consider taking fights like that. And our armor needs to be in the at least the low 200s before we start wanting to actively tango with orc warriors. Otherwise, we're going to find ourselves getting one-shotted. Or, well, maybe not one-shotted, but two-shotted for sure. Zombies are complete bullet sponges. Let them get closer. Make it less likely that we end up wasting an arrow. Now watch, we fought Geis and a Necromancer in the last one and got nothing. This time we'll get some like godly set of armor. Or some ridiculous weapon from some ancient king. Guarded by like just a couple dudes out in the woods. I've had a lot of people tell me that their RNG has been really wacky when it comes to the loot after the DLC. And I've seen it too. I've definitely seen it. But what I've also seen is what I believe to be like really strong improvements in the AI. It plays a lot more like a human. This may have been a mistake. If he pops up and throws me down here, I'm going to take damage from falling from a height. Let's hope that doesn't happen. We lucked out. Definitely the two most dangerous ones on the battlefield. They have armor and they have hand axes, which is like a tier 2 axe. And they're using them in one hand, so they get a damage bonus from that. That was pretty perfect. And that way we didn't have to deal with any of the resurrections that were going to happen. And we get the hand axes. Cool. I think they're like at the very bottom tier of the list of weapons that are worth repairing. Especially if you have a place where you can get good tools from and good prices when you sell. But otherwise, generally, it's kind of up in the air about whether or not you want to repair them, whether or not it's worth the tools. If you're paying 300 plus for your tools, definitely don't repair hatchets. And we can camp. Visit the Fletcher. I've seen legendary, unique things spawn in here. The actual prices are not bad for their stuff. 3,800 is not a bad price for the warbow. It seems like anything below 4K is not bad. Let's see what their well, their buying prices are not great, but I don't want to keep my inventory clogged up with too much garbage. So we'll get rid of the cheapest stuff. Once again, we'll hold on to the crude axes. All this stuff will be worth like 300 in some other places. Same thing with the signet rings. We're not dying for crowns. I just don't like that we're still using the tier 2 crossbow when we definitely have the money to just pull the trigger and get the tier 3. How many days do we have? 7. That's not enough, but they also don't have a lot of food here. 8 days is of course better. And we could always count. Ooh, we desperately need ammunition. But I was going to say we could always count on picking up at least some food to augment our diet whenever we're out in the wild. Something we can do, we can come down to Grafenhide. Maybe pick up a contract. We still have a couple minutes left on today's episode. We can come down here. I don't know how long it'll take before they stop hating us. But normally when you get this contract, if you haven't explored, or this ambition rather, if you haven't explored any of the wildlands, all you have to do is start at the bottom or the top and go in a straight line down. And you'll discover everything you need. It'll be super fast. If you go in the right unexplored places, you can generally just like knock it out without even trying. What are the prices like here? Still poor. Fairly poor. Let's get the men some beer. Anything else? Grains. 10 days is nice. Nothing else that we need. Should definitely check the tavern. You know, all we hear is the funny story about the witch hunter who showed up and burned a woman without her giving any kind of explanation. So, alright, well, because we have a few minutes, let's start our exploring early. We know the witch's hut is right here. That's a legendary location, a boss battle. Not equipped for that yet. We don't have any necklaces because we can't find a dang taxidermist. So, we're missing out on a lot of the resolve that we would otherwise have. I think by the time we face the witch's hut, every brother will probably be at about 60 resolve at minimum. If you include the bonuses from having the banner out, everyone should be at around 70, if not more. Some brothers around 80 or at 80. At that point, the battle becomes much more trivial. Ooh, this is a tough one. Not a tough one in terms of, like, you know, these are some top tier dudes. But I see a crossbow. I'm seeing a lot of very dangerous weapons that I certainly don't want to get hit by. This is Luger, the Ashen Prince. Okay. This is Ozzy. No getting hit by big hammers. This is a war brand. We do not want to get hit by that. In our last playthrough that we did, we ended up picking up a unique war brand, which was super sick. And we used it every time we fought goblins. And it wrecked them. It was an awesome weapon. There we go. Go for the kills. Perfect. Nice injury too. I think a pierced chest is an HP reduction. We don't want him to leave because we need to kill him to get his loot. But we don't know what kind of weapon he's using. Oh, nice. Perfect. And then we get the lockdown. Get that kill. We'll use Indomitable just because they'll almost certainly go ahead of us. And if that's the case, they're going to have a lot of chances to hit us. Let's just make sure that they can't. We could Adrenaline there to make sure we get this kill. But I think we're going to get that kill regardless. No reason to waste all of our fatigue. $64. He's starting to doubt himself. Let's make it worse. Ah, he's got a great sword. Jesus, I probably would not have stepped in on him with anyone had I known he was going to whip out a great sword. However, he's still quite vulnerable. 9 lives procs. We just have to hit him once now with Sir Lancel, which shouldn't be an issue, because his ability to land hits is quite high. Interesting crossbow placement. See if he runs. No. Well, we're certainly not going to try and dodge past him and get hit with that. That big greatsword. If we can get that after this battle, that would be awesome. Sadly, we don't need a greatsword. We already have one in our inventory we're not even using. As crazy as that is. But there's going to be a time in this playthrough where we have, 20 brothers, and not having to buy a 4K greatsword at some point would be very nice. Down he goes. And we get the greatsword. Awesome. Let's go first. Kill him just to free stuff up. Could have taken a shot at him, but had we even hit him, which we almost didn't even want to do, it may have pushed him back because of the effects of the Impaler. Let's try for it. Yes. Just his odds of hitting us like that are just so low. You can abuse it. Down he goes. The crossbowman wants to run. No doubt that we can kill him. He's got triple bleed going. Let's try our long axe. He's got 77 melee skill. Oh man, he should have been using this all the time. His melee skill is a lot better than some of our brothers who are using melee weapons. It's crazy. I forget just how good our hybrid brothers are. They're all really good at being hybrids. Their melee attack stat, their chance to hit is super high. Especially when you consider that they're almost always swinging into situations where we have really solid surrounds. And that's the end of that. So cool fight, kind of in the middle of nowhere. Down they go. Still no levels. But what do we pick up? Lots of good stuff. Once again, like I said, more food. Crowns, cool. We got the war brand. We have the great sword. Huge. Another signet ring to sell. We picked up his padded flat top helmet, which is a nice pickup. I'll just say for those of you who don't know, best crossbow helmet in the game that's not a unique that I'm aware of. If you know better, let me know. But it's 150. It's the highest armor you can get with -1 vision. So we will happily take everything there. And yeah. Let's before I forget, let's set that to repairing. Definitely want to repair the war brand. And we can repair the basic mail shirt and the nasal helmet and the padded flat top and the axe hammer. All of that stuff is quite valuable. Everything else we can kind of just leave alone. So something I was thinking too, Skibo is probably going to end up as a spear bro at some point, just to try and help his chance to hit. And when we have access to fighting spears at a pretty easy rate, we'll probably switch him over. 55 melee skill is just, it's too low. He'll be in the mid-60s before he's done hitting his level cap, which is fine. Especially if you're using a spear, but otherwise it's really not fine. So, yeah. So just be heads up on that. He's using a cleaver now, but in the future I don't think that's the case. Guys, because I have a little bit extra time, I'm going to save the game just because I've been going for an hour. And I am going to jump into this fight, a little bit of a bonus fight. We don't know who we're fighting. This could end up being like a 20-minute fight for all I know. Ooh, it's just some orcs. I said just some orcs. It's all orc berserkers. Oh my god, that's terrifying. That's what I always do this. And now we're going to miss every chance to snipe them. Please don't make that a self-fulfilling prophecy. I was joking. Oh my god. 41 versus... Nice. We'll take this high ground here. We'll use Indomitable. All of our brothers who can need to use Indomitable. Get as many kills as we can at the start. Indomitable will keep them from stunning us out of our first turn. Spear Wall will also help with that usually. Alright, see what they got. Some of them won't make it into combat this turn. Yeah, they went after Skibo, of course, because he doesn't have that. But that puts him in a really dangerous pocket. The rest are going to try and go around, but we should be able to shoot him to death. We'll definitely be able to shoot him to death. Get that Berserk reset. Hopefully get that kill. Who else do we go after? He's the most threatening to us at the moment. Perfect. Get some good injuries on him. Get that easy kill, easy reset. Happy to spread the injuries around. Okay. Let's make sure we go first next turn. And he should just be done. Perfect. Ranged firepower is definitely something of a counter against Berserkers. So that's Indomitable here. Perfect. So only one real threat left, and he's on the high ground. And in order for him to do anything, he's going to have to step down. Otherwise, we're going to shoot him to death. And him using his action points to move is going to make it so that he can't attack. Yeah, and he charges in. Best possible scenario for us. That weapon kills brothers. It's one of the scariest weapons to see in the game. And there we go. We managed to pick up some levels. We get 2 of the man splitters. These are all super valuable. We'll end up repairing them. Some furs to sell. 40 tools. That's huge. That's about 500, maybe 600 crowns worth of tools. Some food we don't really want to eat, but also strange mushrooms, which we could use on our barbarian bros, just as a kind of a fun thematic thing to do from time to time. And yeah, probably take this fight soon. Maybe we can consider trying to take one of these places if we can get some of them to leave before we get there. But either way, guys, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Once again, my name is Brett. My channel is Good Talk Gaming. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It helps me out a lot. We've gotten a lot of subscribers in the last few weeks, and I'm really happy to see that. And I've been really happy to see all the support on the series. And even some of my other series, I noticed some of you guys are going and watching those. So thanks a ton for that. Anything else I want to say before I go? I'm still on my vacation. I'll be on my vacation for a few more days. There may be a day where I don't have a video uploaded. And I hope you guys don't mind that. But it's been hard to keep up. Before I left, I had to make like 10 videos and pre-upload them. And I have kids, stuff like that. So it can be pretty difficult. But I'm trying to keep up. And I'm taking these kind of lulls in the action to get these videos recorded. So anyway, guys, hope you have some fun. Hope you have a good day. I don't know. I'm rambling. All right, y'all. Take it easy. And as always, I will see you in the next one.